Hello everybody, my name is Leo, welcome to Cars at 100 and let's talk about everything automotive. Okay, we have a very interesting act of performance by McLaren. So as I anticipated in the past, I knew that McLaren will come up with something more hardcore than 720S. Perhaps there needed to be a competition for the GT2 RS, and now it exists in the form of McLaren Senna. So it's a huge, big deal for those fans who remember Ayrton Senna, who was arguably the best Formula 1 driver, who was a master in wet driving in the Formula 1, which no one else could do just like him. So he was a really a legendary figure in F1 racing, and Schumacher has followed very good in his footsteps. But he was arguably he was the most favorable and most legendary F1 driver. So I am personally excited about this car. Why, I tell you in a minute. And the reason that this needed to exist by McLaren is because GT2 RS by Porsche was just too dominant, guys. And I feel like McLaren, which is coming out strong with all the cars right now that they're producing, what they really need to do, what they really needed to do, which they already did, is come out with something a little bit more hardcore than 720S, and they delivered. This car will have 789, close to 800 horsepower, with a lightweight of 2,800 plus pounds, even less than that. We don't know the actual specifications, actual specifications, because some specifications are posted on the internet, but we still don't get the full specs of this hardcore machine that is anticipated hugely right now in the automotive world. And I am thinking that this car will be ready soon, perhaps in 2-3 months, to beat the lap record that Porsche GT2 RS has set a couple of months ago, that crushed the competition, even its own 918 Spider. So I am excited. I am thinking that this car will be something that will be very dominant on the track, having 400 less pounds than the P1 by its own McLaren brand. It is incredible. This machine is gonna be very capable on the track, and I can't wait to see the numbers. They haven't posted yet 0 to 60 numbers on this car, but I believe they will be crazy. They will be definitely under 3 seconds. The car is not all-wheel drive, it's rear-wheel drive. It is very track focused. Very interesting part about this car is the section of the door, the lower section of the door is actually transparent, and you can see the driving position, you can see the steering wheel. The seats is the second thing that I really want to mention, because they're really hardcore seats. And I always was thinking, me personally, when I was looking into the car as a sports car, I was thinking, how well do seats hug you? And in this McLaren Senna, you really feel like these seats are really hardcore. Don't think about comfort in this one, because this one is gonna be fully fledged hyper track car, which is gonna be very dominant. And I can't anticipate this enough, because I am a huge McLaren fan, perhaps a little more than Porsche, but Porsche has been very good in their engineering lately, and I'm rooting for them as well. But this is competition, guys, and you have to understand that these cars will always compete, and that's where the exciting part comes in. So all these cars, when they're coming out with their better versions, more special versions of the regular cars, in the McLaren it's 720S, a special version is McLaren Senna. So Ferrari, where are you? Ferrari is next, guys. Ferrari needs to come out with something interesting for the 488 GTB. Perhaps it's gonna be Speciale, perhaps it's gonna be something interesting, and it has to have more than 750 horsepower, guys, because as we all know, ZR1 came out recently with 755. Now McLaren Senna with 780 plus horsepower, and Porsche GT2 RS having only 700 horsepower, but being very capable, is a very good competition to all these cars. And Ferrari needs to come up with something that will match that horsepower and that weight numbers, guys. Weight numbers to horsepower are very important. It is actual benchmark that you can understand how car is gonna be capable on a track. Always look at the weight numbers and look at the horsepower, how much do they compare to each other. So that's what the interesting part about the McLaren is as well, because it's very, very low on weight and it is very powerful. Having 700, close to 800 horsepower in a body of a car that weighs less than 3,000 pounds is incredible, guys. This is the time that where we're living in. It is incredible time, because these cars are very, very capable. These cars are not race machines. These are not just track cars. You can use these cars on a daily basis, and they are very powerful and very capable. And I am very excited to see the full specs of the McLaren Senna coming out in the months ahead. So stay tuned, guys. I'm gonna do perhaps more videos in terms of the how this car competes with other cars as well, so stay tuned for that as well. And if you like our content, guys, please subscribe. It helps us grow. This was Leo, Cars at 100. See you next time, guys.